Hi, my name is Jollson. I work as a software developer with Actron. Actron is a content management and social media software development company. So in today's screencast, I'm going to talk about software development tips. The inspiration is from a book written by Dave Hunt, The Pragmatic Programmer. So a quick introduction about me. I'm a software programmer. As I said, I'm working with Actron. Actron is a content management and social media software development company. Now on to the introduction. So in this screencast, we will discuss the core attitudes and behaviors of a real-world programmer, like being responsible, dealing with change, the importance of communication, and increasing your knowledge and experience. Also acknowledges the painful truth that no software is perfect. So let's get started. The tip number 1, care about your craft, which means why spend your life developing software unless you care about doing it well? Very meaningful, not just for software, but for any industry and any profession. Tip number 2, provide options. Do not make lame excuses. Instead of excuses, provide options to your customers. Do not say it cannot be done. Explain what can be done. Very important. Tip number 3, be a catalyst for change, which means you cannot force change on people. Instead, show them how the future might be and help them participate in creating it. Tip number 4, invest regularly in your knowledge portfolio, which means, very simple, make learning a habit. Tip number 5, it's both what you say and the way you say it. It's all about communication. There is no point in having great ideas if you do not communicate them effectively. Tip number 6, dry. Do not repeat yourself. Every piece of knowledge must have a single, unambiguous, authoritative representation within a system. So do not repeat yourself. Tip number 7, there are no final decisions, especially in software. You can expect change at any phase. No decisions is cast in stone. Instead, consider each as being written in the sand at the beach and plan for the change. Tip number 8, put abstractions in code, details in metadata. Program for the general case and put the specifics outside the compiled code base. Tip number 9, do not program by coincidence, which means rely only on reliable things. Beware of accidental complexity and do not confuse a happy coincidence with a purposeful plan. Tip number 10, refactor early, refactor often, which means just as you might weed and rearrange a garden, rewrite, reword, and re-architect code when it needs it. Fix the root of the problem. Tip number 11, work with the user to think like a user. It's the best way to gain insight into how the system will really be used. Be a user, think like a user. Tip number 12, abstractions live longer than details. Invest in the abstraction, not the implementation, because abstractions can survive the barrage of changes from different implementations and new technologies. Tip number 13, do not think outside the box, find the box, which means when faced with an impossible problem, identify the real constraints. Ask yourself 2 questions. Number 1, does it have to be done this way? Number 2, does it have to be done at all? Tip number 14, some things are better done than described. Do not fall into the specification spiral. At some point you need to start coding. Tip 15, do not gather requirements, dig for them. Requirements rarely lie on the surface. They are buried deep beneath layers of assumptions, misconceptions, and politics. Tip number 16, make it easy to reuse. If it's easy to reuse, people will. Create an environment that supports reuse. Tip number 17, start when you are ready. If you have been building experience all your life, do not ignore niggling doubts. Tip number 18, and the last one, generally exceed your users' expectations. Come to understand your users' expectations, then deliver just that little bit more. The conclusion, in today's software world, anybody can do what they are asked to do. So what makes you outstanding is the ability to deliver the functionalities that resides in the subconscious mind of your customer. Thanks for watching this screencast. If you have any questions, please mail me at jollson@hotmail.com. You can follow me at twitter.com/Jollson. Thank you.